And hello again. Here we are in Studio 2 discussing wildlife security and development. They're all intertwined, as we've seen throughout the discussions so far. In the previous discussion, what came up repetitively is the fact of the need for behavioral change with regard to wildlife trafficking and wildlife consuming, nudging people towards the right attitude vis-à-vis wildlife trafficking and wildlife in general. Biodiversity, of course, is aligned with that and is of the essence there as well. We'll, I'm sure, get into that a little bit more into detail with our next guests, because we will have a look in this next session how illegal wildlife trafficking is organized and understanding how profit is made and why. In other words, why people are interested in buying and consuming wildlife in the first place may also help combating illegal trade. And that is what the people at traffic.org are doing. It's a leading NGO working on trade in wild animals and plants with an eye on biodiversity, conservation and on sustainable development. And let me introduce you to our two guests. That's first and foremost Yuzi Yang. She's Program Officer at Traffic China. Yuzi joined Traffic in 2018, is dedicated to promoting sustainable utilization of timber and aromatic and medicinal species through in-depth studies and evidence-based communications. And with her is Ling, Director of Traffic China. Hello. Ling has worked with Traffic for more than 15 years with a range of expertise on government relationship building, law enforcement assistance, private sector cooperation and team management and development. Dear ladies, a good afternoon to you, maybe a little later where you are, I assume. So glad to have you on board. Yuzi, let me start by asking you, can you make it concrete for our audience what it is you do by giving an example of the impact of your work with regard to wildlife or, for example, flora? Rosewood is one of your cases you mentioned when we spoke earlier. Please enlighten us. I think you might be muted. Could you check for us? No? Can you try again? Hello, hello? I don't know. I cannot hear you yet. This is the 21st century, you know. 2021, we've all been there.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Very far away, but we hear you. It's not perfect yet. I think we need to look into it a little bit more. No, we don't hear you yet. Can I just leave you to figure out what needs to happen? And if I may, I'll come to you, Ling, with a sort of zooming out question, and that is, we will hear in a moment what changes you can establish and make happen. But this is not just about preserving wildlife and saving pangolin or whatever. This is something that is of the essence within a broader context. Please enlighten us. Why is it important that you do that in terms of this broader context?
Good evening. Yeah, just to check if you can hear me.
That's perfect. We hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we all know that human beings are part of the ecosystem. In long term, yeah, the biodiversity loss could cause serious consequences. In short term, wildlife trafficking, usually organized crime, could be closely connected to other organized crimes, including money laundering and terrorism. the money from wildlife trade might fuel the armed forces or equipment of terrorism. Besides, the wildlife trafficking also causes a huge loss of revenues of a local community. Legally traded products are taxed. Yeah, while between, for example, 2005 to 2014, 35% of the types of smuggled wildlife were rosewood. It is our target species of our Champions of Change project. So, which all should be taxed in the source country, many of which are African countries. Therefore, although most activities of the project were delivered in China, influences could be expected for the whole supply chain, particularly the in African side. Yeah, the proposed activities will also contribute to the FOCAC, the Forum of China African Cooperation, and the BII, the Belt and Road Initiative, supporting China to take more responsibilities of biodiversity conservation, yeah, by improving legislation, combating illegal wildlife trade, and reducing demand for illegal wildlife products. Yeah, thank you.
You mentioned Africa. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you cooperate with, I don't know what partners, but partners on the African side of the supply chain, if I may put it that way?
Yeah, so from this project, yeah, we worked together with the Chinese embassies in Mozambique, Zambia, Cameroon, and Congo, yeah, to deliver the advocacy workshop for local Chinese communities. You know, the Chinese nationals and or the businessmen, yeah, local, yeah, to increase their awareness of wildlife conservation. So during their daily business, they will not be involved in the illegal wildlife trade. So and another partner we worked in Africa, yeah, the local government. Yeah, for example, like the Gabon customs. Yeah, we worked together. We visited them, worked together with them, yeah, to also invite them to China to attend the customs workshop supported by the Chinese government to help them increase their capacity of combating illegal wildlife trade. So that is the, you know, we tried our best to make efforts along the whole supply chain. So in range country to increase their capacity against like poaching or illegal trafficking, and also in consumer country here, China. Yeah, we work with the like Chinese government, National Forestry and Grassland Administration, yeah, to reduce the demand for pangolin and rosewood among the Chinese nationals. Yeah.
I'm still hoping that Yuti Yang will join us shortly, but seeing that she's not there yet, I just feel you one of the questions I had in mind for her. You mentioned this consumer pattern. What do you know at Traffic, or what do you do to nudge people into behaving differently, to change their consumption patterns? And because often this may have, especially in China, a long history. It's a custom. It cannot be easy to really change that, I imagine.
Yeah. So, like trafficking, wildlife trafficking is not part of the cultural context of this project. However, there are cultural factors in the like motivations of purchasing. So, our goal of this project is to convince consumers to choose legal and sustainable products to fulfill their motivation. So, here we applied the social behavior change SBC initiative instead of general awareness raising, because we wish to trigger changes changes in actual action other than changes in mind. So the whole process was established on the scientific studies of market consumption and local policy. Yeah, using rosewood as an example, we identify the hot species in market, the gap between sellers and buyers, industry expectation, current policy. Then we dig into consumers to find who they are, why they buy, and what stops them from buying. So the motivation of the rosewood consumption is a high requirement in quality of life and cultural belongings. Why the majority of the consumers are young and well educated, they are open to new information, new knowledge, and they are afraid of buying fake, the rosewood products. So a campaign was developed on this basis, along with a responsible consumption guide. So a handy tool was provided to the consumers to make a better decision. One of the campaign materials, a mini game embedded in the WeChat. It is a very popular app like Facebook in China, and everyone here, we use the smartphone. Can access the WeChat. So the game was precisely delivered to potential consumers to ask them to decorate an imaginary house in the game and implant the information while they play.
Okay, I see. So you don't wait for consumers to find you, but you go to where consumers are and try and interact with them on their domain. Just one last question, very briefly. China will host the UN Biodiversity Conference late this year. What do you hope will be achieved there in one sentence, if I may?
Yes, I think this year the China is to show the responsibility of conserving biodiversity, for the whole world. And I think all the NGOs or like the Chinese government department will work together, to make the efforts on facilitating, this global event.
Okay.
And to establish a good, platform for the future discussion on the UN's 2020 goals.
Okay.
Goals. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ling Yu. Sorry we couldn't bring Yu Ziyang back on board. Say hello to her from us, and thank you very much for being with us.